Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? I know it has been a minute, but this is gonna be a follow-up of the worst vacation ever. Well, I mean, not really a follow-up, but it's like more of a thing that happened 2 weeks later type deal. So I'm gonna count it as a part two. So in the worst vacation ever story time, I was talking about my cousin that was on some pretty bad drugs and how she brought in the virus to everyone else. Yes, I know what I'm gonna say is kind of bad, but when I was 12 or 13, this is when my story time took place. I did smoke weed, but I didn't do it constantly, so like, it was just like, hey, you want a hit? Yes, I'll take a hit type deal. But anyways, so this cousin of ours smoked weed along with the bad drug, which we didn't do because we're not that stupid. But our whole way back from the trip, she and I and my brother smoked weed with her, and we decided to basically take her back to rehabilitate her. Yeah, my mom's a really nice, kind person, so she'll let people do that, basically. Sometimes it's terrible, but you can't really do much about it. But anyways, my mom didn't know that we smoked back then, me and my brother, and this is the story time on how I got caught. So, basically, me and my brother and cousin were smoking weed probably once every day or so, and my mom gave her her old phone, which was a LG, and this LG had her Google account on it, and on this Google account, she was taking pictures of me and my brother smoking. We'll call my cousin Andy. Now, Andy was a pretty chill girl. I mean, I don't have a problem with her. It's just she brought the drugs into our house and didn't want to get them off of them. Eventually, she did break the cycle, so she's been clean about a year or two. I don't really talk to her anymore, so... But anyways, let's continue with the story time. So in this picture that she took, me and my brother were playing PUBG Mobile, and I had a joint in my mouth. And I was like, you know what would be funny if we took a picture, and I was trying to be like all focused and shit with this joint in my mouth. So I thought that shit was hilarious. My eyes were all bugged out because I was trying to focus on the game as like acting, because I wasn't really that high. Like I said, I only took a few hits back then. Literally, we're just playing PUBG and smoking and shit. Well, that cycle kind of repeats. We take a couple hits from our cousin Andy, and basically it just happens for another week. And so me and Chris are playing around 11 or 12 o'clock at night, and my mom, in a worried some voice type angry, I don't know if you ever heard that voice, really scary voice, but she's like, can you guys just come here for a second? Like, we're like, oh fuck, like, uh-oh, does she know? Like, the back of our minds, we knew that she knew what we did, but we weren't for sure. We're like, why do we have to come down there? She's like, just come down here now. And we're like, oh yeah, we're definitely busted. And so on her phone, because the Google account was connected to that LG still, that picture uploaded to Google Photos, which is basically a cloud for Google. And there it was, with me smoking a joint, playing PUBG, spazzing out, but it was acting, I swear to God, I was not high. Like, I was just acting because I thought that shit was hilarious. And we're like, uh-oh. So she's like, you guys know that you're in trouble. We'll call my brother Tyrone. My mom was like, Tyrone, you're 16, 17, you're almost 18. If this is what you want to do with your life, I can't stop you. But I do advise you that this is not the path you want to take. And my mom was a mischief kid herself back in the day, so she ain't really hard on us when we get caught doing this shit. She just like kind of explains to us what's right and what's wrong. So then she turns to me and she goes, Jordan, you're 13 years old, you shouldn't be doing this shit. She looks at both of us and she goes, I don't know what you guys want me to do. She goes, I want you to pick out your own punishment. And me and Tyrone look at each other and we're like, what? She's like, yeah, I don't know what you want me to do. She was obviously pissed. So we decided to take grounding instead of like the Xbox token or something. We also smoked with our sisters a lot, and me and Tyrone have about 3 sisters, and out of the 3 sisters, 2 of them smoked at the time. One of our sisters, let's call her Renee, basically mom called her up and was telling her basically what happened that day and how we got caught. She kind of just fessed up, and she got really mad, my mother did, and basically yelled at her, and it was like a weak fight between them two. But we took another trip to Oregon. I can't remember why, but we took another trip to Oregon. And one of my other cousins have a epilepsy problem, so she has seizures and shit, which is not really good. And so she takes marijuana pills to help the seizures. And this cousin's like 14, 13, it's prescribed by the doctor. And of course, back then, not many states were legal with that shit, so it was one of the states that were at the time. But my mom starts yelling at her. It was like, what the hell are you doing giving her your kid that type of shit? And she's trying to explain that this stuff helps. Me and Tyrone took this opportunity and we're like, hey, maybe we can get our mother on board, trying to get us less fucking in trouble. And on top of that, because she's got a lot of health problems, like I said, it might actually help her. So we made a deal with her. We're like, okay, if you try it for 30 days and if it doesn't help, we'll stop entirely. Like, we won't even touch it in our entire life. So she's like, okay, I'll give it a try. And she ends up it works. It works. I mean, I'm telling you, that shit is like the drug that's not man-made. It's perfect. So basically, my mom tries it for the 30 days, and she even gets her marijuana card, which was funny because she didn't even have to try that bad. She has so much medical issues that the guy was like, yo, you're gonna get it in the first try just because you got this many problems with you. She got it like 3 days later after the interview with the card. It was crazy. But yeah, that was the story on how I got busted smoking weed with my cousin and my brother. Oh, and I'm sorry I've been gone for almost 2 weeks now. I was doing tons of shit, trying to get some more gameplay. As you can see, this is the new Modern Warfare 2 beta, and I just wanted to get something new and fresh for you guys. So, yeah. So anyways, I hope you liked, comment, and subscribed on this video, and peace, brothers. I hope you enjoy the rest of this gameplay. I lied, actually. One more thing. If there's any story times you guys like best, make sure to tell me in the comments so I can take those suggestions and make good videos for you guys. And now, peace.